You must have been
Wow.
so pumped when you found out you were fighting Michel Pereira, right?
Dude, yeah, no, they're like, "You're fighting." I'm like, "Oh, the fucking wild guy? The guy who does backflips?" I really don't watch fucking fighting that much, but I know who he was because that motherfucker, he's dope to watch, I'm not gonna lie. He's fucking does backflips and shit. Like, bro, I can't do none of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, the motherfucker is like a fucking freak athlete, all like backflips and like all that fancy shit, you know what I mean?
All right, big fight coming up this Saturday for this man, Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Main event, UFC Vegas 99 at the Apex against Michel Pereira, a fight a lot of people, let's be honest, are pretty damn excited about at 185 pounds. Anthony, good to see you, my man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to be here in this fight week. I'm fucking looking forward to it.
It's great to hear because you've come a long way, sir, from the loss to Kevin Holland to the crazy submission of Rodolfo Vieira, main card on Apex shows, main cards on pay-per-views, co-main event fights, and now here you are getting set for your first UFC main event. How excited are you, man, just for this opportunity to close the show for the first time?
Man, I am so stoked. This has been like since I was a kid, 15 years old. This is what I've been working for, main events and the title fight. That's obviously like, you know what I mean? That's what I've always wanted. And it's finally coming along, you know what I mean? I'm super fucking stoked. It's all finally here, you know what I mean? Now it's just go do what I do.
This fight was supposed to happen on the Sphere card at UFC 306, part of that whole crazy experience.
Yeah,
What
no, that
happened there?
was
Was this
sick.
just yeah, was this just the UFC asking, "Look, man, we need a main event for October 19th. You mind pushing this one back?" Or did something else happen? What was the deal with that?
Bro, I don't even know what the fuck happened, to be honest. Like, my manager was like, I was getting a massage, and he's like, "Fluffy, I got some good news for you." And I was just like, "All right." He's like, "I got good and bad news." He's like, "The bad news is, uh, they asked, they wanted like only 10 fights for the ape or the fucking sphere. They're like, they asked if you'd be willing to step off of it, and I was like, but he's like, I was able to get you a main event. So I was like, all right, well, that's even better. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'm in this shit for the money. So that makes more sense for me. It made more sense to go fight that day. Um, and it's like we're having my birthday, so why not have a birthday present for myself? You know what I mean? A main event, and let's go fuck shit up and show the UFC what we really can do.
Yeah,
Give
I
me,
mean,
yeah.
it's all about the money. I completely agree with you, but was there a part of you after seeing what that card was, the spectacle of it all? Was there a part of you like, damn, like I could have bet on that card. I could have the cool entrance and the gladiators and all the ambiance, some FOMO at all?
Uh, I mean, I really don't care. If I just put me in the fucking fight and let me fight and let me just make my money. Like I've fought in hell of times at the Apex. I'd rather fight in front of a crowd for sure, but I really don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I just want my belt. At the end of the day, that's really what I want. And plus, like none of my fucking friends could afford to even go to the Sphere fight. Like that shit was crazy expensive. You know what I mean? It's like, why? Nah, I'd rather just pull up on a main event that you guys probably wouldn't have been able to even go to anyways, and then we just kick it after.
There you go. So you got a bunch of people coming out for this that bought tickets,
Yeah,
plus the guys and gals you can bring,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, I got a couple of friends who did buy tickets, and then, just my family's out here and stuff, so we're just gonna enjoy the moment like we always do.
A lot of people, like I said, they're excited to see you fight. Not as much activity over the past few years as I guess you would have liked. You were supposed to fight Roman Dolidze back in June, the hand injury and all that. How
Yeah,
frustrating has it been for you? Because it's not just you having to withdraw. You've had certain circumstances
yeah.
where opponents had to withdraw as well.
Yeah, no, it sucks, but man, this game it's fucking brutal, you know what I mean? It's like 15 years of fucking your body up, like something's obviously gonna give out. Something just like every time. But man, I this fight camp I was able to get here healthy, so it worked out. And every time I've shown up healthy, it's been great. You know what I mean? The times that I've been hurt and still try to fight, I got my ass whooped. So it's like, flick, don't do that shit. I gotta remember it's like it's a nice little humbler. It's like, look, motherfucker, you're human. And if you're hurt, you got to remember you're fighting all the best in the world. Everyone in the UFC is fucking really good. You know what I mean? So now I've been healthy and I've only shown up when I'm healthy and I've showed out every single time that I've been healthy. So it's just keep being healthy and keep showing the world, keep adjusting my training and keep figuring this game out for the right recipe that my body can withstand. And just at the end of the day, it's like man, this shit, it happens. So you gotta trust in whatever you trust in, that it'll all work out. You know what I mean? It's just when it does, when I do show up, and when it's all fucking merges, it's gonna be a great thing.
It's a super valuable lesson to learn in this game, right? Because that doesn't happen all that often. Like when did that happen for you? Was it after the Holland fight where you realized this, or is this something you need a little more time to
It
figure
was.
out?
Let me see. Who did I fight? Yeah, Holland. I got my ass whooped twice. It was Holland and Marcus Moloko, in Brazil, and it was like those 2 times where I was like, ah, whatever. Like, I'm not taking anything away from anyone. They beat my ass. It is what it is. That's like simple, plain simple. Excuses, no excuses, injuries, whatever the fuck it was. I showed up that day and I still try to take them on. That's on me. You know what I mean? Like, they got me, whatever. But it showed me valuable lessons, man. I probably learned more from those losses than the wins I've had. You know what I mean? It showed me a lot, and it re fucking made me have to like recheck myself. You know what I mean? Um, and it's been all great things since then. So now I've been in this UFC for a fucking long time. I understand the ins and outs and of fighting, and I'm ready to go get my belt, man.
Well, the next step towards that is you get to fight an absolute maniac in Michel Pereira,
Yeah,
entertaining
no,
guy,
he's
found some
fucking
new
wild,
life in
man.
it.
He's wild.
You
He's
must have been
wild.
so pumped when you found out you were fighting Michel Pereira, right?
Dude, yeah, no, they're like, "You're fighting." I'm like, "Oh, the fucking wild guy, the guy who does backflips." I really don't watch fucking fighting that much, but I know who he was because that motherfucker's he's dope to watch. I'm not gonna lie. He's fucking does backflips and shit. Like, bro, I can't do none of that shit. You know what I mean? Like, the motherfucker is like a fucking freak athlete. All like backflips and like all that fancy shit. You know what I mean? But no, I'm fucking stoked. This is one of those fights where I see fight of the night all over it. You know what I mean? Because we're both some tough motherfuckers. We both can take a shot, and we're both fucking pretty violent. You know what I mean? So I'm stoked for this fight. It's gonna be a big test, and I'm looking forward to showing you guys how I do that shit.
For someone who enjoys fighting as much as you do, like being in there, why don't you watch fighting? I'm curious.
Man, I got a full ass life. You know what I mean? I got 4 kids. They all do sports. And then like if I do get downtime to myself, I'm going out riding. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go do shit. I'm gonna go fucking have fun. I'm gonna make like I fucking work my ass off Monday through Saturday. So if I get a day off to myself, no, the last thing I'm doing is watch TV. I'm sorry. I didn't grow up with TV, so I've never had it really. So there's so much shit you can do if you're not sitting down in front of a goddamn TV, you know what I mean? So I'd rather just go be adventurous and do stuff like that, like RC cars. I have a bunch of little chickens and like there's just so much shit that I do every day and that I like that it just I don't really got time for it to sit down and watch TV. But I do watch them sometimes. Like I've gotten better about watching them because my wife's like a super big in UFC and she's like a fucking fangirl type shit. So I'm just like, whatever. I guess I'll watch it if it's on. But yeah,
But look, you're in great company, right? Max Holloway doesn't watch fights.
yeah,
Derek Lewis doesn't watch fights. They focus on fighting when they're fighting, and they
yeah.
seem much happier for it.
Oh, for sure. You know what I mean? Like, if I was trying to fucking follow everything and learn who everyone was, then I'm just a fan too. And I always told myself when I was a kid, I was like, look, I'm gonna be the next big fucking thing. I'm not gonna be a fanboy. So I really don't care to watch it. I'm gonna show up and every test they put in front of me, I'll deal with it then.
Michelle, like you said, he does all the backflips, he does all the crazy stuff. He's obviously toned some of that down a little bit, but he's a giant man. How he made 170 all those years,
Yeah, no, that's wild.
I don't get it. But I feel like he's been on such a run, but I feel like your style is like perfectly suited to give him problems because he's such an issue early on. Like he just comes
Oh,
at you
for
and just
sure.
gets after it.
For
But
sure.
you're durable, you thrive on that, your gas tank. How much of a difference do you feel? How much of a difference do you feel like your style plays, especially with this being a 25-minute fight?
Man, I think my style was perfect to beat him. I just have to have my hands up and not get caught with no crazy shit. You know what I mean? And I mean, he's fucking wild. He's calmed down a lot, like you said. I've noticed he knocked the last two 285ers out with just straight rights. Um, so yeah, no, yeah. I don't plan on standing in front of him in the distance. You know what I mean? I plan on fighting this motherfucker and taking it to him. I know that he has like a wild fucking crazy 2 rounds, but I'm in shape for like 10, so I can keep that pace for all 5. I mean, I hope he's in shape. That's all I gotta say. You know what I mean?
So you feel like this one's going to get extended a little bit and let the chips fall where they may. You don't seem like a prediction kind
I,
of guy either.
I'm not a prediction kind of guy. You know what I mean? Because every time I've been like, "Oh, I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out," it doesn't happen. I'm like, "Ah, fuck this guy." You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know. It's a fucking fight. Anything can happen. Realistically, you know what I mean? So I just embrace it all and I show up and make sure that all my shit's sharp and that it goes my way. You know what I mean? The rest will happen. Whatever happens, happens. But I know that the best me is gonna show up Saturday.
You've said it multiple times here. You want that effing belt. That's what you want. You want the belt. What does a
No,
win
that's
here? Yeah. What does a win here do in that conversation? Like, how close are you to the Whitakers, the Shemaevs, the Izzies, the DDPs, the Sean Stricklands? Like, what does a win do in that conversation?
man, a win just fucking it's shown every time. A win just gets you closer and closer up that ladder. Beating this guy, I believe that Dana and them will be like, all right, you know what I mean? Give me a real fucking test of a top 6 guy, 5 guy, whatever is, I don't really care, man. I'm not getting any younger. I'm ready to fight the best. I'm ready to be champion. Give me the test and I'll show you what I could do. I promise.
I feel like the right guy is champion too, because you
No,
and DDP, I think, would be the weirdest fight ever in
it would
like
be
the
wild.
best possible way. Like, do you
Yeah, no, it'd
agree?
be wild. He mixes it up, you know what I mean? He's a big, strong motherfucker, but he mixes MMA up very well. And I think it would be a fucking great fight with him. He's a tough motherfucker. He's got a chin. He can hit. He hits people and puts them to sleep. You know what I mean? It's an exciting fight to me. That would be fucking fun. And he's just doing his thing. You know what I mean? Good on him. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, he's just a brute, and
Yeah,
it's just
no,
fun
yeah.
to watch.
He's a dog. He is.
I
He
love
is.
how people like talk about his style, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, I don't do any of that stuff that you're talking about, and I still win." And I think that's like what makes this sport so exciting now, especially in this generation and this evolution of the game, because
Mhm.
it was always like, "Oh, you got to be good at this, and you have to have this sort of technique." And then guys like you and guys like DDP are just like, "No, we don't. We can just go out there
Yeah.
and brute people around."
No, yeah, do what I want. No, yeah, it's been a while. Like you've seen, like for a while, it was all kickboxers, it was all wrestlers. You know what I mean? It's been like, uh, it's grown into this craziness, and like, man, I can't wait to watch it. Like when I'm old and retired and can't do this shit, and I actually just have to sit down and watch shit. I can't wait to see the younger kids because man, some of these 12-year-olds and shit you see in the gym are crazy good. I'm like, dude, I like that shit's gonna be wild to watch. You know what I mean? Like I've seen some little kids that are just so well rounded. It's like, God damn, give this kid some fucking man strength and whoo, that's gonna be a scary person. You know what I mean? Even little girls. I know a bunch of little girls that have been winning little what is it? They went to Abu Dhabi and fought and stuff and they won little titles and man, they're killing it. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, if I would have gotten in so much younger, imagine what I could have done. But what coulda, shoulda, and it's like I just keep telling them, man, keep doing that shit. You'll be champion soon. You know what I mean?
Before I let you go, you mentioned sort of the next generation of fighter. You train with one of them. Shaler Ladd is about to make his pro debut. I don't know if
Bro,
he
he
actually
can't get
had
a
it.
fucking fight.
I
He
know,
can't get
man.
a
What is
fight.
happening here?
Bro,
What
it's
is happening?
bullshit.
That guy's
I don't
real
know.
good, is he not?
No, he's a stud. He's a young kid. He's hungry. I mean, I remember giving him the conversation like a couple years back. I'm like, you're never gonna be my ass. And now, like, now the little fucker, like, we've shown him everything. We showed him how to beat us. We showed him like what to do here, what to do there, and he's starting to absorb it all and starting to fucking mix it together so well. And now he's like one of all of our tougher rounds because he's not little. He's 230 fucking pounds. You know what I mean? I'm like, the kid's a fucking stud, man. I really cannot wait for this kid to fucking get a fight and be up in the UFC soon. That he's a fucking stud, man. But like, it's been hard to find him fights. No amateur wants to fight him. No pros want to fight him. Uh, I'm excited for his future, man. That kid he's gonna do something great. He's gonna do something really great.
Yeah, I did a 30-minute interview with him that I couldn't release because we were talking about like all the opponents he could have fought on that card that he didn't fight on. So
Yeah.
it never saw the light of day. But we did talk
Fuck.
about you and he talked about your importance to his growth in the sport. So I wanted to kind of go full circle with it. But
Yeah.
much like you're gonna do, heading to the
Yeah.
Apex this Saturday, we climb to the main event. Michel Pereira, everyone looking forward to this one. especially me. Thank you for the time, my man. Enjoy the rest of
Course.
your week, and
Thank
all
you
the
so
best on
much.
Saturday.
Thank you so much. You have a great one yourself.